played right away. Call in now with your thoughts on the game. 651-646-8255. This is Vikings Vent Line.
Thank God for the vent line. I don't even take my medicine.
Presented by Red Cow and Red Rabbit.
I don't know that this passing game can carry them.
Now, alongside the superstar Mike Morris.
So much fun to watch. I just don't know what the problem is.
Here's Phil Mackey.
Toss to McKinnon. Jarek McKinnon gets the block for the touchdown. No deep shots yet. Here's one down the middle, and there's Ginn. He's picked. Sendejo. Here's one to Thielen. What a catch up to grab it for a first down. Murray, right side, bouncing. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Superstar Mike Morris. The Vikings.
Are you kidding me? What we're watching right now, I mean, it just happened. Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs.
I thought
with no time, 10 seconds left on the
Okay.
clock, and touchdown. We're thinking he's going to step out of bounds, and we'll have a field goal to win.
All right, let's set the scene this way. If you're tuning into our station right now and
you're
don't know
hearing
what's
us-
happening, the Vikings just hit a 60-yard touchdown pass with no time on the clock to beat the Saints 29-24.
Kidding me?
Let's get right to your phone calls. 651-646-8255. 877-615-1500. Red Cow and Red Rabbit powering Vikings Vent Line. We'll stay on the air as long as you want to call. What in
a
God's
play.
name just happened?
Watch this kid drop his head. We're watching it right now on instant replay. Watch this kid duck his head and just he completely whiffs on the tackle.
You know what's funny? When
He would have still been out of bounds in enough time for a field goal.
When he caught the pass, I thought, get out of bounds.
I
And then
did
it's like,
too.
oh my God, there's no defenders.
I
He
did
scores
too.
a
I'm
touchdown.
like, are you kidding me? I thought someone was still behind him, like a safety. I'm like, get the hell out of bounds, dude.
Linda in Wyoming, who was blowing up my Twitter feed the entire game, saying this is doom and gloom. Case Keenum is going to wreck it. We've never seen anything like this in the history of the Vikings franchise. They move on to the NFC Championship game. Linda, start us off.
Well, I'm not going to eat crow because I said several things were going to happen that did, like Keenum and the interception and that. But I will tell you, that was unbelievable. Somebody is looking after the Vikings.
I'm going to tell you right now, you couldn't have put it any better, Linda. I mean, and you've been so accurate all year long and have for several years, actually. But this was not, this was just an unbelievable play and a terrible, terrible defensive effort by number 43. I don't even know, Williams, I believe the guy that made the interception on Keenum. Well, does Keenum ever have his revenge on Williams? Because he ducks his head, Diggs catches it. I still thought there was one guy to beat. Get out of bounds, and it doesn't hell, he turned around and there wasn't anyone at all.
I can't stop laughing. By the way, Gene Steratore, they did review the play. Please tell us if this gets buzzkilled.
Yeah,
but he did not step out of bounds. He did not step out of bounds.
No, he didn't.
There were no flags on the field.
If somebody's going to buzzkill this, it would be Gene Steratore.
Of course, yeah.
That's confirmed.
The call just came in from New York.
Let me. By the way, the phone numbers are. I know. People are still in the stadium. It's still full because they're waiting to see what happens. But 651-646-8255, 877-615-1500. By the way, it's been confirmed. The Vikings
just now
have defeated the Saints 29-24. Linda, you've been a long-suffering Vikings fan. You call in every week. Does that play make you feel like this might be the team that finally lifts a half-century of curses or whatever you want to call it, self-inflicted wounds?
It does, because I have watched every Super Bowl loss, every playoff loss, because I'm 69 years old. I have spent more time crying over Vikings losses than anything else, and I'm sitting here for all the reasons I don't have to eat crow. Thing I said and that play. Finally, we get a break.
Yeah, you know what? We were due, were we not? I mean, after this long, this many games, playoff games and Super Bowls, are we not due a break like this?
For something.
And you have to, and we earned it. I mean, that's a throw and a catch, right?
Dude, that was a
Yep.
throw and a catch. Not to mention, the way
that was a great throw.
Yes, and
I mean,
Linda, the way it played out, Kai Forbath was temporarily the hero And then shortly after, the Vikings' vaunted defense was temporarily the GOAT.
And we don't mean greatest of all time either. We mean GOAT.
No.
But I'm telling you right now, just when you think you know everything about football, something like this happens. The Viking defense starts giving up points, and they get a little bit rattled. The first time we've seen them rattled all season long. You got Kyle Forbath coming out and just saying, you know what, I got it from 53. Not a problem. I got a 49 and a 53 in me, and he makes them both. Missed a 49, but my God, the 53 had more pressure on it than he's ever had in his career. And then, of course, do you think you can get through the playoffs with Case Keenum? Do you think we've got enough quarterback? Well, I'll tell you what, that kid's got a lot of fight in him. Dude. He's got a lot of fight. He had the worst interception of his entire season in the second half. I mean, that about cost us. And then he comes back with the biggest throw of his entire career. And the Vikings, franchise history, and we go in with no time on the clock. Touchdown, we win, no bother having to kick an extra point.
Yeah. Hey, Linda, final word from you quick, because we got to get to Eric and Brandon and a bunch of other phone calls here. But go ahead. The floor is yours, Linda. You're caller number one, and you've been with us every week. So final words from you.
I asked for an Adam Thielen jersey for Christmas, and I got it.
Good for you. Good for you.
I don't think a lot of 69-year-olds do. And, I have tears in my eyes looking at the 99-year-old gals that got to come for the first time to be able to see a game like this, because my mom was a huge Viking fan, and she died when she was 91, and I'm sure right now she is dancing in heaven because she never missed a Vikings or a Twins game or a Gophers game on TV. So we deserved one. We finally got it.
Linda, thank you for your phone call. We're going to get to Eric and Brandon in just a second, but 651-646-8255.
How about this?
This is the biggest walk of shame I've ever seen in the history of watching sports. The Saints have to come back on the field for the Vikings to kick an extra point of just a formality. So they cleared the field of media, and they had to find 11 poor Saints back in the tunnel to put their pads back on.
I feel a little like Donovan McNabb. I mean, did we have to kick the extra point or not? I'm thinking we didn't have to. Apparently you do have to make it official, and the Saints come marching in. Let's just say they come marching in to do this rubbing salt in the wound extra point, because they have to make it official, apparently. I didn't think you had to have one.
All right, let's roll through phone calls here. Eric in Bismarck. There are no words. Fire away, Eric.
We've exercised the demon.
Yeah.
I mean, for 30 years
my
I've been
God.
watching this franchise, and my heart is broken every year. Oh my God. I mean,
unreal.
We've exercised the demon.
By the way, for anyone who had the Vikings -5, they didn't actually kick it. They took a knee and won by 5.
Just kneel it down.
Guys, I do want to say one thing. They need to figure out blocking on the right side, because it was awful today. But
well, they also have one of the best in the business is rushing over there. But Eric, we'll see. I mean, they have follow it up by going to the Super Bowl and winning it, perhaps. But
look at this. I mean, I'm watching these replays. They're playing them over and over again. Williams comes in. I don't even know the kid's first name. He's a rookie this year, and he got the first interception off of Case Keenum. But when he comes in to try to make the tackle on Stephon Diggs, he completely ducks his head, puts his head down, and whiffs. And I mean, Diggs comes down 2 feet in bounds and turns like, what? No one hit me?
Let's keep going here. Brandon in Cambridge. Vikings win. Fire away.
For once this night, do not have this happen to us.
I'm telling you.
I was praying to God, I swear to the Lord above, that it wasn't going to happen to us, and it didn't. Did I have a lucky club in my pocket? Or what happened? But Phil, I made your dad earlier in the game. I was on your Twitter.
Oh, you had my Brad Childress tweet, and you called him Major Dad, and I thought that was hilarious.
That was me.
Awesome,
but
Brandon.
I've been following the game, and I lost faith earlier, but I was praying, and thank God. For once, it happens to us.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say. But thank you.
Man, haymakers. Let's real quick go to Jeff in Minneapolis. Jeff's a loyal caller. Jeff, Vikings win 29-24, man.
How's it going? Oh, my God.
What's wrong? What's wrong, man? You act like there's something wrong.
I'm just trying to stop the tears from rolling down my cheeks.
This never happens for us. It never happens that we get lucky.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Because you have so many things that were going to be said if this had gone the wrong way. But typically, like they always do, this team has fought tooth and nail every second of every game. And they let this one get away from them a little bit.
Call it like it is. That's why I love you, man. Oh, my God. They fought and Diggs. Lifetime contract. I don't care. Case Keenum, I love you except for that stupid throw. That stupid throw.
That was bad.
After they score that touchdown. But you know what? We got it. It doesn't matter. We got it. Oh, how am I going to go to work tomorrow? There's no way I'm going to be able to concentrate for the next 24 hours.
Your work conditions just improved a great deal. If it hadn't gone well, like it just did, you would have not even gone to work tomorrow. So, but be glad you can go in and talk the way you can now about heading to Philadelphia.
Let's go, man. Nick Foles ain't nothing.
Dude, Nick, after going toe-to-toe, Jeff, those were real tears from Jeff in Minneapolis, who calls every week on Vikings Vent Line.
Yeah.
We're full right now, but as callers drop off the line, 651-646-8255, 877-615-1500. It's Superstar Mike Morris. We got all kinds of people hanging out. We've got Manny, we got Jonathan, Eric's in the house, and everyone.
We've got the call if you want to hear it.
So we've got the final call here. The final call. Let's replay this again. Vikings, basically with one or two plays left, maybe to get into field goal range.
They had enough time to step out of bounds and have a really realistic chance at a nice field goal, a good field goal make.
And then this happens with no time left.
Keenum's going to try to work the ball on the boundary. Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
This never happens to Minnesota sports teams. Has this ever happened to a Minnesota sports team?
I wonder if Vikings fans suddenly love Joe Buck now after that call.
That was a great call. That was a good call.
I guess it happened to the Twins in 1991. Like, they hit a home run in the Game 6, so it has happened, but not to the Vikings.
The Game 7 thing, the pitching duel with Jack Morris and whoever.
John Smoltz.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, and Drew Brees actually started the game.
Yeah.
Ben in Florida.
Yeah, he didn't he?
Ben in Florida, you're on Vent Line.
Guys, this is their year. I mean, you don't make a play like that and it not be your year. It is just their year. I cannot wait to Philadelphia. You got Nick Foles, man. It's just, the kicker made the kick. Drew Brees, they brought down and made the kick. You throw a Hail Mary, man. It's just, I just feel like it's their year, man. It's just their year. In the past, they'd be on the wrong end of those plays, man. Man, hats off to Case. Say what you want about Case Keenum. Say what you want about this football team. Mike Zimmer is the coach of the year after that play. It's not even up for discussion what this guy has done with this football team, man. Philadelphia, man, let's go, man. I'm fired up. I'm fired up, man.
Ben in Florida, just rocking it.
You know, with 26 seconds or whatever it was when they kicked off to us and we got the ball spotted on the 25, glad that you pointed that out, that it was on the 25, too. Long story.
Yeah, Donovan McNabb over here in the studio has no idea what the rules are of football. That's fine.
I have no idea. But I would say this. That is pretty good clock management and timeouts to get the ball in position for him to make a throw that would have, if he'd stepped out of bounds, been really perfect strategy on the part of the Vikings and time usage to get the ball in position for the kicker to come out and make a game-winning field goal. Now, it turned out much, much, much better and a much better play call by Joe Buck, but because he wheels and there's no one behind him, and he scores a touchdown, and it's over.
And
right?
the football gods don't let Kai Forbath make that kick. Kai Forbath, if Diggs goes out of bounds, Kai Forbath winds up on the same list as the other Vikings kickers that have missed wide left. Yeah. So take it out of his hands, off of his feet, and just run it in yourself. Realistic Randy in Oakland, you're on Vent Line, sponsored by Red Cow and Red Rabbit, baby.
Let me just tell you guys something right now. I'm trying to catch my breath as I speak right now. The fact that this game came down. You know what? You know what's funny? I've been a fan of this team for 17 years. You just expect something. It was going well for us, up 17-0. Then the Saints, they make their run. Then Kai Forbath makes a couple of kicks. The fact that he was able to make that kick to give us the lead for that short period of time. I was like, he's going to miss it. Of course he's going to miss it. And he makes it. He freaking makes it. And then the defense, they do their thing. It's whatever, or they don't do their thing. They give up the score, and they give us a field goal. And then all of a sudden, you mean to tell me that Case Keenum needs to make a drive to come back and make a play, and hopefully Kai Forbath can make the field goal? You mean to tell me that's what it comes down to? I was ready to cut Case Keenum out. He almost threw that game away. But the fact that something good happened for us, something that never happens for us. We see all these teams, all the teams, they win the championship, and we're like, why can't that happen to us? Why can't the good plays happen to us? And it happened there. We should stand up. I'm so proud of this team for fighting through, and I don't care if it's cliche, for fighting through adversity and getting the damn win. That's what it takes to go out there and win a championship.
Well said. Well said. Realistic Randy. Play the song. The old song.
I mean,
can you imagine?
That actually happened.
Can you imagine? That is incredible to think of. What you could have been talking about right now is they let us down again. We can reload the cannon back down in Mankato. No, wait, we don't go back to Mankato. We can reload the cannon in Egan. We'll do it again next year. We got a team that's really close, but they just need one more year. That's all been swept under the rug because they come up with one of those plays that you have to make in the playoffs. Every play counts in the playoffs. One play can kill you. In this case, it was almost two. It was the interception on a short, and then leaving a short field for Breeze to come back on and get another touch, and then a damn block punt. If anything, don't let a punt get blocked. Well, we do. We do.
I almost forgot about the block punt.
I'll tell you what, that killed us. That put him on another short field.
Mitchell in Florida, you're on Vent Line. Star and Mackey.
Gentlemen, I am running around in my backyard. I'm listed as from Florida, but I'm from so many places. I've been a Vikings fan for 32 years.
Wow.
Superstar, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
32 years.
I do know what you're saying, man.
Oh, my goodness, from missed field goals to fumbles to everything. Man, I'm just, the analysis will come another day, but I'm just so happy for Vikings Nation, everybody. This is one to just celebrate. Me and my family are going out. I don't even know where we're going. We're just going somewhere because we've been waiting for
Take the family out in the backyard. Just run around with everybody in the backyard. Just call a party in the backyard.
That's exactly what I should do. Hey, guys, congratulations. It was thrilling. I look forward to calling in next week. Let's make it to the Super Bowl. You guys have a good one.
Boom. Mitchell in Florida. Let's keep rolling here. Monty in South Dakota. You're on Vent Line.
Oh, man. If I would have called 15 minutes earlier, I would have been crying. But, I was sitting there. I had the pleasure of not watching the game in 2009. Our TV was down, so I was watching it play-by-play on NFL.com.
Okay.
And I was sitting there just sick. Everything that could have happened. You got Kyle Rudolph with the foul. You got, all these.
Well, here, let's put him back out.
A lot of things didn't go well.
No, sorry, Monty. We're back, Monty. Go ahead.
Sorry. So I was just saying everything that could have happened was happening. Got Kyle Rudolph getting that foul, and I'm just sitting there on the couch. I'm curled up, sick. I see Kai Forbath on the sideline, and I jumped about 20 feet in the air from a laying down position. I never caught it from my parents, but I think I dropped a few of them. So.
I think everybody did.
Even with your parents there.
Man. I'm just excited for this next game, and excited to hear you guys talk.
Dude, Monty, thank you for the phone call, man.
Yeah, here's the thing. We got one more game to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 games left, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, we just had a pretty good little Super Bowl right there in the same place where it will be played, just kind of 2 weeks earlier. But if you could ever imagine needing confidence, needing a boost, needing some kind of confidence in knowing that you didn't play great in that second half, but you came back and won it one way or another, you found a way to win it. This is the prototype, find a way to win a game. It happened to all the players that really needed the most. The kicker that was having trouble, the young quarterback that was getting his first chance this season to become like a full-time starter, and having his first playoff game. This had to happen this way. And because it did, what this does now, moving forward into Philadelphia next week is unbelievable. And that defense better do a double check, by the way. They need to double check their confidence and maybe getting a little ahead of themselves.
Sure,
too.
but that's
play
also one of the
4
five
quarters.
That's also one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks who's ever put shoulder pads on.
Understood. I agree. I totally agree with that. But I mean, you got to make more plays. You got to make more plays. What they do typically, that we saw in the first half, that got a little bit. Those got less and less and less as the game went along. And I think it was because of the tension and maybe some of the conservative play that they were throwing down out there. I don't know if they had the boot heel to the throat thing going. I think they were kind of whistling through the graveyard, if you know what I mean.
Boy, yeah. And then when they needed to stop the most, they couldn't get it. And it's
That's
Case
what I'm
Keenum
saying.
that bails them out. Let's go. Speaking of Case Keenum, Bob in Pennsylvania, since day one that Case Keenum took over as starting quarterback, has been on the bandwagon. Bob in Pennsylvania, the floor is yours.
Mackey, I just have one question for you. Are you going to marry Case yet or not?
I'm in. Let's elope. Let's elope.
Because you
Bob, are you
weren't ready earlier in the week. But come on now, you got to be ready now.
Bob, are you into polyamorous relationships?
Beautiful wife, and Lady Luck is golden because she was here for us for the win tonight. And we needed it, but Case has the eye of the tiger, and I want you guys to ramp it up if you can. Come on now. Come on. That is the essence of the eye of the tiger. Viking fans.
Oh, God.
Purple. Let's bleed purple all the way back home. The Eagles, we will break their spirit next week. I will be at the game just to make sure that there's one less Eagle fan at that game so I can root for my team to get back home. It's about getting back home and winning.
It's about having the eye of the tiger.
I'm going to have a lot of Shiraz tonight, my man.
Oh, my. You know, ironically, the name of the band that sang that is Survivor. Yeah, Survivor in Advance.
I think that
Jim
sums
Valvano.
up today.
We survived today. That is the essence of survival.
That's what it is.
Man, how about that win? How about the ending? Oh, I love it. Diggs, Forbath. How about Forbath?
Yep.
The kick that he made.
Yep.
I told you he had his head on straighter. You thought I said Prater last week, but no, it's straighter. He has his head on a lot straighter. And we proved it today with that kick. Get back the lead. Road Warrior comes back from his usual third quarter injury, and what does he do to Thomas? He shuts him down. Breeze made a big play on that 4th and 10, but you know what? Prior to that, Rhodes shut him down. And I'm telling you, it was big. Everything was big. It's just a great win. I'm just going to listen to the rest of your show, listen to the rest of the Vikes fans, because we are on a roll right now.
I love me some Bob in Pennsylvania. I love me some Bob in Pennsylvania.
I do, too.
Thanks for the phone call, Bob.
Bob's got the eye of the tiger, too, man. What I love most is seeing that last play and the look on Sean Payton's face after he thinks it's all said and done. 10 seconds left to go, and that play. Doesn't even take a field goal. Beat you with a touchdown.
I don't think if Stephon Diggs does the logical thing there, which is step out of bounds.
Yep.
Because the minute you decide to go, and now he saw there were no defenders, but you don't know, someone can catch you from behind.
Absolutely.
The minute you decide to go, that's it. You either score or the game is over.
Yeah.
If he steps out of bounds, Kai Forbath misses that field goal because that's what happens every time a Vikings kicker lines up for a key field goal. And so the fact that Stephon Diggs took it into his own hands and just ran it across the goal line with no time left.
I got a hot take. If the Vikings go on to win the Super Bowl, that touchdown by Stephon Diggs that we just saw 20 minutes ago will be looked at like Dave Roberts' stolen base against the Yankees.
I mean,
the ALCS.
Yeah, you're dead to rights.
You're dead to rights.
There's only like a 0.5% chance of winning the game.
Yep.
And then beyond that, winning the rest of the games that you need to win and carrying the momentum. It's a good comparison.
Yeah.
It was like no other. I mean, I've been watching Viking football since I'm guessing I probably started watching in about 66, 67. The team got here in 61. I was probably 6, 7 years old. I was born in 61.
Iowa kid.
Yeah. Had to follow either the Vikes or the Chiefs, and those were the two main teams. But we followed pretty much the Vikings the whole way. And we'd drive up here to the games, Metropolitan Stadium, and I ended up playing a few games for them. In all the time I've been around this team or watched this team, and the 18, 19 years it's been since I played, that is the best Viking finish and the best memory I have of a Viking squad thus far. Now, we're not in the Super Bowl yet.
Yeah.
But most recently, that's the most exciting play I've ever seen as a Viking player or a fan.
It is for me, too. That's a great question to pose out. We have one open phone line right now. Is that the highest you've ever felt as a Vikings fan?
That's the
Is that the best natural high you've ever felt as a Vikings fan? 651-646-8255. I mean, there are no Super Bowl highs.
Not yet.
I mean, we're not to that level yet.
We still have that chance. And I'll take a chance. I will take a chance. That's all any of us want in the NFL, is just a chance to proceed onward and play until there are no more games left to be played. And that's all we're looking for. And I love this team's chances, especially since they shot themselves in the foot again like Carolina, and they need to understand and know how to kill people off and get it over with sooner. And it's a great lesson for them. They'll learn a lot from this. And they'll go into Philadelphia, I honestly believe, even better than they were today in the first half.
Yeah.
I really believe that, too. I'm not kidding. I think that Case Keenum's confidence will ride high. This team is going to fly around next week. I really believe that.
651-646-8255. Red Cow and Red Rabbit are keeping us commercial-free after perhaps the most incredible Vikings victory in the history of the franchise when you just include how improbable the finish was. Lynn in Alberta, you're on with Star and Mackey.
Yeah, hello, guys. I just want to let you know that I'm so excited about this game. My husband Chris been a fan of Vikings since 30 years ago, and I think tonight was the most emotional experience for him watching the Vikings. He was like so mad. He was venting. He tossed the cap, and I stood and I watched and I said, "No, don't give up. The game is not over." And then suddenly here comes Diggs, and he got the ball, and just want to say he's so awesome tonight.
Yes, thank you, Lynn in Alberta. Let's keep going around the world here. Mike in Italy is on Vikings Vent Line. Mike in Italy, yes.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Wow, you sound like you're standing right here in St. Paul. You're not in Italy, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm up in northern Italy near Milan, and I've been listening to you guys. I've been listening to the Vikings for 17 years here. It's 2:30 in the morning, so I can't speak very loudly because the rest of my family is sleeping. But I was turning off everything. I was shutting everything down, and I'm going into my other room, and I was just expecting, my gut hurt. I was chest pains. It was over. I go in the other room, and I hear Joe Buck going, "Unbelievable!" And I just couldn't. I went out to see the last. I didn't even see the last play until it was, repeated. But it was just utter shock. I mean, the game was over. I was just starting to think about what I'm going to talk to my friends about in terms of here they did it again. But man, incredible.
Wouldn't you like to know, Mike, how many people? So 70,000 people in that stadium. People left, right? People left. I'd love to know. I'd love to know how many people were outside, oblivious, walking to their cars when that play happened.
Incredible.
It really was.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your phone call, man.
I think it would have hurt maybe even the most of any loss if it had come to that, even though it was just divisional and not the NFC Championship game. And I'll tell you why. I mean, because this team, and we agreed earlier, watching the game in the first half, of course. We wouldn't have said this, what I'm about to tell you, in the second half. But we did say in the first half, is this not the best Viking football team we've ever put together? And I said yes. I played on the 15-1 team. I still think that this team is more solid at every position to position, and I was just waiting for the kicker to catch up. And he caught up today. So
he did something that the other kicker couldn't do in a big playoff spot. So
I don't know what you meant by that. Wait, I do remember now what you mean by that. But I would say that they are an incredibly well-balanced team, and it just would have been so sad to see them squander what what they had right in their hands, and they still do. But that was for them to have lost this game somehow to New Orleans after beating them down, just beating them down in that first half, and then coming out and losing momentum. That's what happens in football. If you lose momentum in a football game, everything comes to life on that bench. Everything starts to be that we believe we can come back and beat them now, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Roger in Oshkosh, what did you think?
Hey, what did I think, fellas? I don't know. It was surreal. I was jumping up and down about 4 times, and I saw my knees up near my chin. I couldn't believe it. It was just the most fantastic feeling, and I feel so happy for the good people in Minnesota and Minnesota Viking fans all over the world. They deserve this. Now, a couple things here. The Saints gave it their best shot, but I got to tell you, the Saints are one of the dirtiest son of a bitch in football teams around there. Williams went after Zendejo. You can't tell me he did. And when Barr had a pick 6 in the making, some guy grabbed him down by the horse collar. And I got to tell you, Sean Payton is the biggest prick in the NFL. He has been that way for years. I am so happy he is pissed off tonight, and he'll be pissed off for the rest of the offseason.
All right, that's probably enough from Roger before we get an FCC violation.
Why can't we just go ahead and let him keep talking? I mean, he's well within the parameters.
Listen, I know.
Well, the
I know people are excited, but
the dump button's broken for the night. So thanks for that, Roger.
Scott in Iowa, you're on Vikings Bet Line.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on, Scott?
What's up? Wow.
I'm 54 years old. This team has broken my heart year after year after year. And I don't know what to say. I admit it. I about gave up. I was walking away and just happened to catch it out of my corner of my eye, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Absolutely stunned.
Yeah,
I was so excited that he caught the ball that the ball landed in somebody's hands. One of our receivers, I thought, turning it out of bounds right away, and we've got this thing. We've got this thing.
But then your next thought is, oh my God, he's running.
He takes off, and there's nobody to come up and on support. The safety whiffed big time.
I kept waiting for a white jersey to come out of nowhere and knock him out of bounds as clock ended.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that.
You know what? Regardless of what happens, Scott in Iowa, superstar, that play, you know how we read, there's 5 or 10 plays, playoff plays, right? Joe Montana back of the end zone to Dwight Clark. Mm-hmm. The miracle catch by Franco Harris 40 years ago.
Immaculate reception.
The Lynn Swann tipped reception against Dallas, right? That play will historically sit among all the other great plays that are on NFL Films videos that we all grew up watching with no time on the clock, 60 yards. Now, if they pay it off with a touchdown run, too, it elevates the play even more, like Manny brought up the Dave Roberts stolen base in the ALCS for the Boston Red Sox.
If you end up go ahead, please.
Bradshaw, and I was catching just bits and pieces. The Bradshaw on the postgame show, I caught the tail end. He mentioned the immaculate reception, so I'm assuming he is somehow comparing it, tying it together.
I'm sure he was. That's exactly what they were up against as well. That, by the way, put them over the top to go on to the Super Bowl and win their first Super Bowl. And you know what? And the Dwight Clark, but listen though. But Dwight Clark, he caught the ball in the back of the end zone against the Dallas Cowboys. It put them on track to win their first Super Bowl. It did. And so what I'm saying is, you'll look back on this as the one that either put the really good team on track and back on track to go to the Super Bowl,
and by extension, launched dynasties, right?
Right. So 7-8 years. This is going to launch like 7 or 8 years of consecutive Super Bowl appearances and wins.
Duck rule.
So my one last question, and I'm just trying to look at this with clear eyes. Was this more the second half? Was it more New Orleans making adjustments that we didn't counter with? Or what explains the what did you see, Star, as far as why they closed the gap so quick?
Well, they started off with Case Keenum somehow not deciding to throw the ball away and kicking a field goal on the last, I'll say, effective drive that we had going on in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And then they put together something that worked extremely. I think it was at least a field goal. I think it was a field goal. That's where it started to unravel, I thought. Then certainly an off-balance throw. I mean, just chucking it up in the air by Case Keenum on I think we would all agree it was his worst throw and interception of the year in the biggest moment. And we were hoping that he wouldn't do something like that. Well, he did. That, of course, in the hands of Drew Brees and that offense, breathed new life back into the New Orleans Saints. And that's the biggest problem you could possibly cause, is to give the opponent momentum at your house. That's what happened. That's what happened. Then go ahead and add a blocked punt. And if you want to talk about taking the wind out of your sail, if you're a football team that has the home field advantage and this big lead and everything else, and now all these things start to come unraveled, and now you have a blocked punt, I'm really surprised we were able to stay in this game. I really am, because that's when a lot of teams would buckle. And they didn't do it. They gave Drew Brees the ball on 2 short fields because of that, and he capitalized on both.
Yeah, Scott and Iowa, thank you for the phone call. Let's go to Nick in Belle Plaine, who's been on hold the longest. What's up, Nick?
Gentlemen, how are you?
I mean,
better. Much better.
We're doing okay.
Much better. I'm doing great now.
The first thing I have to say is it's finally nice to have the Vikings be on the proper side of a play like that that's going to be replayed on sports shows for the rest of the you know, we see the Vikings on the wrong side of those so often. It's finally nice to be on one of the most famous plays that's going to be in playoff history now. And the only other thing, I guess, is over the past, my main goal with this football team has been to not let myself get so emotionally wrapped up in them like I have, since 98 and 09, and kind of let the bad get me so much. But I found myself again today when they were squandering that lead, and then New Orleans kicked the field goal with like 50 seconds left. I got sick to my stomach and was like, here we go again. It's like watching the Titanic and thinking the boat eventually isn't going to ship or sink when you know it's always going to. And then that play happened, and I find myself jumping up and down, like hitting my head on the ceiling. It's just funny how you try so hard to not get so emotionally wrapped up into it and just kind of take it for what it is and watch the game, but it always ends up getting the best of you. But man, how fun was that to watch the end of that game? It was just awesome.
Dude, that's I think most people are chiming in. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate you listening on a regular basis. I just put a question on Twitter. Is that the best high you've experienced as a Vikings fan? And everyone is saying yes. There's only a few comparable Minnesota sports highs ever. Game 6, 91 World Series. The end of Game 7, 91 World Series. I mean, 87 first championship. But it's
unbelievable.
It's up there.
I mean, it really is. I mean, it takes. I mean, for some of the older people who have been with this team for most of its existence, I think they would all agree that this is the biggest singular play that allows a really good team to advance. That saved it. That saved it right there. I mean, and it's not. We got 2 more games here, but that was huge. That we were allowed to advance. We survived it and advanced, and in the biggest and the most heroic way. The kicker tried to save it and he got us ahead. Then the quarterback, we're never going to have a chance in the playoffs with Case Keenum. He almost proved himself on that one to not be the guy to have.
Yeah.
And he proved himself to be so tough and he has guts. And talk about the horseshoe that Mike Zimmer's talked about, him having a horseshoe up his rear end.
Hey,
I'll take that too.
The tuck rule game, sometimes you need it to spawn something good.
I'll take it.
Red Cow and Red Rabbit have kept us commercial free for, 45 minutes or so. We jumped on the air as the final play was taking place, and so we're just digesting all of this just as you are. If you're leaving the stadium, if you're just checking in with us, we have one open phone line, 651-646-8255. 877-615-1500. Will in St. Paul. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. The only thing I can compare this to is Brett Favre to Greg Lewis, week 3, I believe, 2009 against the 49ers. I was 10 years old at the time. I remember, that was the greatest thing ever for me. I was running around the house screaming. My mom came in and yelled at me because she was on the phone. It was awesome. Except then, I was 10. That was before I went through the 09 championship game, the Favre interception, Blair Walsh missed kick. I was an innocent, young, happy Vikings fan then. I didn't really understand what it meant to be a Vikings fan yet. This one, though, is more special because, I went through, the NFC championship game against the Saints. I went through the dome collapsing, like the Vikings being homeless. I went through Blair Walsh. I went through starting 5-0 and then losing last year. This is what makes it special. I put in the work, and now it's happy. We can celebrate now.
Yeah. Hey, Will, let me ask you this. If they don't win a Super Bowl, how will your view of this season and this particular game and this play we saw today, how will it change? Do they have to win a Super Bowl for it to validate what you felt today?
No, I think today's play, validates my feeling now. But I think if we want the Diggs play to get into the category of immaculate reception, Montana to Clark, David Tyree against the undefeated Patriots on top of the helmet. If we want Keenum to Diggs, that play to get into NFL films into that category, I think we have to win the Super Bowl. But as far as us being excited and happy about this, I think no matter what happens, and don't get me wrong, I want to win the Super Bowl so bad, and I'm going to be heartbroken if we don't. But I think this moment, we haven't had anything like this in Vikings history, in Minnesota sports history in so long, and for us to be able to celebrate this, when everything looked like it was going to come crumbling down like it has so many times, to have this happen, I think this moment still lives on, at least in Minnesota, even if we don't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's good perspective, Will in St. Paul.
I mean,
it's great stuff.
This has the making of something so special. I don't know if anyone's ever been able to put this in perspective, because they essentially stay alive, and with the chance of, with just one more win, coming back home for a Super Bowl and making this the biggest celebration in all Viking history, maybe wrapped up into one, is that we can come back here to this amazing new place that just housed the most amazing win perhaps in this franchise's history already in just such a 2-year period of time. But we can come back with one more win and put it all back on display again in a Super Bowl at our house that no one else has ever done before. No one's ever taken the
strangest thing. It doesn't even feel like a win yet. And this is all on me. I had completely internalized and reached a comfort level with another disastrous loss. I'm 52 years old, so I've
You're in denial. You're in denial, Brian.
Well, it's like, Mike, it feels like I've been hit over the head with a folding chair.
It's cooled. Cool down.
I'm staggering around the house like a zombie. I mean, I didn't take any of those Super Bowl losses. I was a little young and I wasn't following the team at that point. But like I said, I had to reach a conclusion. I thought, damn it, Brian, it's just a football game and they lost. Move on.
Yeah. That's happened too many times, though.
The thing is on at 3 a.m. on NFL Network tonight. I may have to watch the whole damn thing all over again.
Of course you will. I would be disappointed if you didn't.
Well, maybe I'll record it and watch it tomorrow morning.
Why not? Just DVR it. Yeah, whatever. But you know what? This is a great moment in Viking history. I mean, it was the typical Viking reaction that you feel is going to happen when you see Diggs heading for the end zone is he'll step out of bounds or do something, or you turn around and you see a flag.
Check out the Courtney Cronin tweet.
You just expect to turn and see something wrong if you're a Viking fan. For all these years, that's just the way it's supposed to end, right? It was a holding call. It all comes back.
And I love how you had to go through not just like the pins and needles feeling to get that high.
Yeah.
Just like you said, no, you had to go through the entire thing where you know that they've lost and they've broken your heart. And maybe a lot of our callers said they turned off the TV. By the way, Courtney Cronin from ESPN.com, she's the Vikings beat writer. She just tweeted, Zimmer's press conference has been interrupted 3 times by Zimmer chants from fans around the press conference area, like on the outside of the walls.
Right.
It's been so loud, and the fans are still hanging out. Let's go to Alonzo in Burnsville. Alonzo, fire away. Alonzo, we'll put Alonzo on hold, and let's go to Massachusetts. We're nationwide. We're worldwide. Paul in Massachusetts. How did the Vikings make you feel today?
I got to ask you guys if it really happened. I just can't believe that really happened.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Let's just, because I think you're right, and we've been on the air for like almost an hour. Just to prove that it happened, let's play this one more time.
Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win
it happened.
It happened.
Oh, my God.
Confirmed.
It did happen. I just bear with me for a minute here. After Walsh missed the field goal a few years ago, I locked myself in my bathroom. I was just absolutely out of my mind, and I couldn't call you guys until the next morning. It took me that long to extricate myself from the bathroom. And the feeling that I had then was just, like everybody else. But this feeling is just, I think it surpasses it. After Walsh missed, I had to watch Kirby Puckett, in Game 6 of the World Series just to get my feeling back again. But this is just, it takes away an awful lot of things, and it just, I still can't believe that it happened, and it's just going to, and I live in Massachusetts, and I told all my friends and family in Minnesota that if they get to the Super Bowl, I'm going to fly out because I couldn't possibly watch it out here and be with Massachusetts friends and family out here and watch it, and I just have to be with my people back there, and thanks for what you guys do, and Skol Vikings. It's just unbelievable.
Paul,
unbelievable.
Thank you for your passion, your phone call, and it's our pleasure to host this show every week. And sometimes there's a dud, there's a Bengals game that's boring, but doing this every week and having a result like that today makes it so much fun to sit here and take all your phone calls and listen to all your reaction.
It's unbelievable to think that since 2000 when I got out of the playoffs, that I've endured doing radio with the 41 Donut game and having to wait until 2009 to get another NFC Championship game. That didn't turn out so good. 12 men on the field, and could have been a field goal, but thrown across the body, of course, at $25 million a year. It's intercepted by the Saints and brought back. And now I see that same smile on Sean Payton's face that he had then. Today on the sidelines. And I just want you to know, after all this time, finally some payback on that smirky little rodent face that he's got. I hate Sean Payton with a passion, and I hate his face and that puckering, I want to kiss my microphone look that he has the entire game. I'm trying to kiss my headsets the entire game. I want you just to have pain over this. I hope he's listening.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
Right, they do. And Payton, if you're listening down there at the big house, the Big Ice Palace, why don't you take that smirk off your face? Just take that funny little mouth and just wipe it clean and just try to smile straight up and down, not pucker. You look like Bruce Willis after he's eaten a lemon.
Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
Finally, we have some payback on the mousy rodent, Sean Payton.
Let's go to Troy in Burnsville. You're on with Superstar and Phil Mackey.
It's unbelievable, guys, isn't it?
It really is.
But yes, I mean we had a miracle today. But anyway, this is my feeling on this whole thing. To be honest with you, I was actually nervous even before the game started. And when we were down, what was it, 23?
21, yeah, 23-21, I think.
Yeah, when we were down 23-21, I was thinking. Actually, I think it was 24-23. Excuse me, that's what it was. I was thinking this is going to be another loss, and then the miracle happened. Diggs gets into the end zone, and you know what? And you know what I'm thinking now, guys? I'm thinking that we will defeat Goliath and win Super Bowl number 52, and win our first Super Bowl here in Minnesota. And I just think that to quote the chorus of a Starship song, nothing's going to stop us now. Nothing's going to stop us now, folks.
Troy, if they get by the Eagles, it has to be the Patriots, right? It has to be.
Oh yeah, has to be. We defeat Tom Brady, and you know what? I actually have a half sister out in Boston, and I think it would be nice if we beat both Patriots.
Troy in Burnsville.
I don't know how much he's had, but I would say it's a lot.
You know what, though? After today,
he can drink.
I
right?
say guzzle away, baby. Some people are off work tomorrow.
I don't care. Yeah, have a drink on me.
Man.
And then You might want to wait a little while before you call, but that was good, though. Both Patriots? Don't really know what that meant.
I think he meant Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, right?
Oh, okay. Well, then he should have said
But there's also like 52 other guys, and I don't know.
I know what he meant. I know what he meant. You know, it would make it that much better, wouldn't it? To come back, this team is one of the storied franchises that has not yet won their first Super Bowl. The list isn't real long of the teams that haven't won a Super Bowl, but I'd say we are the most storied with a heritage that is a proud heritage.
So they have the sixth best winning percentage regular season of any team in NFL history.
There you go, right
the
there.
The teams above them, it's all dynasties. It's Patriots, Niners,
Super Bowl wins.
And the Bears are on that list too. But the Bears won 9 championships before the Super Bowl.
Right.
So they won like 30s, 40s, you name it. We got to get an ID in here real quick because we're up to the top of the hour. But so if you're listening to AM 1500, ESPN Twin Cities, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that's good enough. We're all sitting here in shock. And we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook audience. Thank you guys for hanging with us for the last hour. Facebook.com/1500ESPN. And we have 2 open phone lines right now. If you're leaving the stadium, and we posed a question on social media here too. Quite simply, did you cry? Vikings fans, did you cry? And the 3 answers, the early poll results, yes. Number 2 option is I'm still crying. And number 3 is nah, go win a Super Bowl. I'm not impressed. Go win a Super Bowl. 40% of you cried. 17% are still crying, and 43%, nah, pay it off with a Super Bowl. Bunch of Buzz Killingtons.
Very funny. And we actually have a phone call that came through today with one of the fans actually crying.
On the air, yes.
On the air. So in case you don't believe anyone cried, we can almost play that back, I'm sure, and prove to everyone that at least one guy did cry because he was still crying.
Yes.